This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Hey Toronto, this is Ed Sheeran.
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
This is Adele.
This is Madonna.
It's Michael Bublé, and you're listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep Show.
It's fun. They're amazing.
All right, I'm looking for some tea. I'm looking for some juice from you this morning. What are the times you fake called in sick? Like you weren't actually sick, but you called in sick because you had like a reason. Maybe there was like a concert you went to the night before that you just couldn't miss, or a friend's birthday, or a wedding. It's something, we're looking for the reason you fake called in sick and like what the excuse was that you gave. I've told you that I like dabble on the side in like very small roles in movies and TV shows where I'm not an actor. I play like a news reporter or like a host or whatever. Yeah. So I'm basically just being me. So I was filming a movie that was Molly's Game with Jessica Chastain and Kevin Costner. And if you've seen the movie, Molly like has this ski accident and I'm the NBC commentator, like calling the ski race.
Okay.
And it was me and another guy who were calling this race. So we're in position. It's a very dynamic scene. Like Kevin Costner's in the scene. Jessica Chastain's in the scene. So part of me is just like freaking out going, oh my God, I'm staring at Jessica Chastain and Kevin Costner. This is crazy. There's all these extras. And we're filming at Blue Mountain. And it starts, they're a bit delayed. All of a sudden, it's winter time. So it's getting dark at like 4:30. And Aaron Sorkin, the director, steps into the little commentating booth and goes, yeah, okay, no, it's too dark. Strike it down. Everybody back on set tomorrow at 6 a.m. And I had used a vacation day from my previous job to go there.
You were going to go,
And thinking at Blue Mountain, I'm like, okay, I got to drive back and then host a morning show. So I'm already like, it's 4:30. I hope this wraps up soon. Excuse me, Mr. Sorkin. I have another. I didn't say that. So I had to call my previous employer and tell them I wasn't feeling well. Because what am I going to do? Tell Aaron Sorkin, the guy who did the Social Network?
I got to go to work tomorrow.
Like, sorry, man, I'm out. Find another comment. So I called in sick. The next morning, I go into the makeup trailer at 5 a.m., like half asleep, coffee in my hand. I look beside me to my right. Kevin Costner sitting there drinking a coffee. He looks at me. He gives me the sup.
See, worth it.
I'm like, sup, Kevin Costner. We shot the scene. It was out of there. It went back to work the next day. No one was the wiser. The movie's out, and it's a good one. I encourage you to see it.
And you really didn't make it in the movie? I was joking.
No, I was in the movie.
Oh, but you was in. Okay, you didn't get cut.
No, I didn't get cut.
Okay,
I'm 100% in it. In fact,
it's totally worth it.
I think I have like the last line of the movie or one of the last lines.
What?
I'm like, oh, she'll be back. Oh, she'll be back.
I gotta watch it now.
You haven't seen Molly's Game?
No, I haven't seen it.
I called in sick to be in Molly's Game with Kevin Costner and Jessica Chastain, and it was totally worth it.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Okay, I'm wondering what was the thing you fake called in sick for. I spilled some tea and shared that a few years ago at my last job, I was dabbling in an acting role. I was in Molly's Game, the Kevin Costner Jessica Chastain movie, and the shoot went 2 days instead of one. So I called in sick so I could stay in Blue Mountain and film my scene. And you know what? Totally worth it, because now it's on my IMDb and I've got a story to tell. What was the thing you fake called in sick for, and what was your excuse? Let's go to Amanda in Stony Creek. What was it?
This past November, on the Pooja and Gurdeep show, that Michael Bublé was coming to a pop-up visit at the Eaton Center. I mentioned it to my daughter as we're getting ready for work and school, and she's like, Mom, we have to go. You have to take a sick day.
Your daughter said that?
Yes. So I said, okay, well, I don't know. I shouldn't miss a day of work. And she's like, oh, you can do this, Mom. You have sick days. You can use it.
Your daughter knows.
So I did it. And it was so worth it.
Okay, so what happened when you got to the pop-up?
There was a few people already gathered. It was around 10 o'clock in the morning. And there was a spot near the front. We squeezed ourselves in there and stood there, and he showed up about an hour and a half later. He came around. He was meeting everybody. He sang a little bit. He entertained us all for about a half hour.
Wow.
He took a selfie with us and signed our concert tickets. We went to see him in Hamilton back a year before. So he signed our tickets. It was awesome.
Not that I want to condone calling in sick all the time, but had you just gone to work and your daughter had just gone to school, probably would have been a pretty normal, forgettable day. I love it.
Yeah, and she had her 16th birthday just the week before, so this was...
Oh, come on.
This made my birthday.
Thank you so much for that, Amanda. You know what that is? That's a core memory. You remember the movie Inside Out?
Yep.
That's probably a core memory for her daughter, and probably a core memory for Amanda as well.
Sometimes it's worth it.
Oh, I think it's totally
Yeah.
worth it. You're not going to remember what you would have done in school or work that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do one more here. Nicole from Orangeville. What was the thing you fake called in sick for?
I think it's not so much what was, but what is about to be the thing I call in sick for.
Wait a minute. This is happening in real time?
This is actually happening next weekend. So I'm going to be calling in sick Friday and the Monday.
What? You got to tell me for what?
I am going to, my fiance and I actually met some wonderful people in Montreal over vacation on March break. And what the husband of the couple works for Formula One. So we're going to the Formula One race.
Nicole, this is the right call, and you are gonna have so much fun. It's like the whole city is all about this F1 race. There's so many parties. There's like streets shut down. It feels like the whole country is descending upon Montreal for this weekend. You're gonna have a blast.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited. We're big F1 fans. We cheer for Red Bull, so we can't wait. It's well worth the 2 sick days I'm gonna have to blow.
Nicole, that's brave of you to call with your real name on that one. And because your friend's husband is like working for F1, you're going to get seriously hooked up. That's totally worth it. Melissa in Georgina, what was the thing you fake called in sick for?
Funny enough, I won a trip on your radio station to
No.
Mexico, and I didn't have any more time to take off, so I totally called in hoping for that trip.
Yes, I love that. What year was that?
Just before COVID, we literally came back about 3 weeks before they started to shut stuff down.
That is awesome that you got that trip in, especially because things shut down shortly thereafter. And you know what? Like, totally worth it, right? Did you have a great time in Mexico?
We did. It was our first family trip with our son. The resort that we had wanted to go to was the Grand Palladium for you guys, and it was phenomenal. We had an amazing time. I had zero regrets. I do it again right now.
Yes, I love it. I even got a no regrets tattoo, except I spelled it wrong. Melissa, that is rock and roll, and I love that CHFI had a part in that story. Thank you for sharing.
No problem. You have a great day. Thanks very much.
No regrets. How about this text? This might be my favorite one of the morning so far. When I was in grade 12, I signed out of school for an appointment, in quotes, which happened to be at the then Sky Dome. They went to the baseball game. As I was at the game, I ran into the attendance secretary that signed me out that day. We looked at each other and she said, "I won't tell if you don't."
Wow, that's awesome. I used to sign myself out all the time.
That is outstanding. I love that so much. Can we squeeze in one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay, let's go to Anita in Toronto. What was the thing you fake called in sick for?
I didn't call in fake sick, but there's a good reason. See, I'm totally aging myself, but that's okay. I had just seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Classic.
And I had watched an episode of Saved by the Bell where Zach Morris skipped school for a baseball game.
I remember that one.
And I was just so sure that if I skipped school, that I would end up in some crazy adventure like they did and get caught, that I just couldn't do it.
Oh, Anita, you so should have done. I mean, life turned out pretty good for Zach Morris. He got Kelly Kapowski, and Ferris Bueller had a pretty good run as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, I should have just gone with it, but,
Yeah, maybe there's a lesson in there. She didn't do it that time. Okay, we got one more text that just popped in from our friend Jason Hall in Toronto, a regular on the show. He says, I had to use a fake sick day so I could go play golf with Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore.
What?
In Niagara Falls.
Wow.
I mean, this is already worth it. You guys have all seen Happy Gilmore, right? Remember Shooter McGavin? He was in the foursome ahead of me, but a great day with photos with Shooter and memories, totally worth it. That is outstanding. And Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out, isn't it?
It's so funny. Like, as a mom, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, these are really great stories. And then you're like, don't skip. But then you see this, you're like, okay, a day or two here and there makes for great memories.
I just think big picture, right? Like, I always think back to, so when I was a kid, obviously I had bedtime and stuff. And when the Leafs were on that 93 playoff run, my brother had a later bedtime than me. And that game against the St. Louis Blues that went into double overtime, where Doug Gilmour scored that classic wraparound goal, I had to go to bed when it went to double overtime. I had to go to bed after the first overtime. My mom's like, if no one scores, you got to go to bed. I went to bed. My brother got to stay up.
No.
And I'm just in bed. My eyes are like open going, what's happening in the game? And then I hear my brother erupt from his room.
And then you ran downstairs.
And then I ran to his room and I saw it on the replay. And I was just so mad that I missed the excitement of that moment.
Aww.
So like, if I ever have kids and the Leafs go to the playoffs and they go deep, or the Raptors, the Jays, they are staying up. I don't care if they're tired for school for one day. That's a core memory. You see Joe Carter hit that over the wall? That's a core memory, man. Big picture.
This is why you don't have kids yet.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
got to make this quick because I really got to get back. I got to get back.
Oh, okay. Well, you just got here. Okay. Well, I guess I'd love to get a sense of like what you do in a day.
Yeah, what don't I do? Okay, ask my team. Where are they? On my back. Oh, and my phone's blowing up. I'm in hell.
Well, I'm sorry that you're so slammed, Crystal.
I need a vacation, but knowing me, I'd bring my work phone, aka my husband.
Okay, so that was Saturday Night Live. Maybe you saw that skit. Look, we all have that one coworker or that one friend who does it. And if you can't think of who it is, I got news for you. It's probably you. We are talking about busy bragging.
That's an actual term now. Busy bragging?
Busy bragging, boasting about how inundated you are at work. But some experts actually say this can have the opposite effect and make your coworkers hate you.
We've all done it.
Can I just tell you, I was guilty of this yesterday. I'm just looking through my text messages. A friend of mine is on vacation in Europe, and she texted me and goes, "Oh, how was your day?" And I go, "Busy day. Took me 2 hours at the auto mechanic, plus an hour each way getting to and from Mississauga. Also had a doctor's appointment. No time for my physio today. Working on tomorrow's show. Then we'll give coffee a bath, quickly take her out, get groceries, and then try and fall asleep."
Oh, my
and
gosh.
And she responded, "You stressed me out on my vacation." And I went like, maybe I should have just responded, "Day's good. How's yours?"
Yeah. What's with all the details?
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You know how you
and all
know
of us.
somebody is really busy, like actually busy? They don't have time for all those words. You know, like when you ask them, you're like, "Oh, hey," and you try to do the small talk and they go, "Yeah, what's up?" You know the what's up people who just go, "What's up?"
Mm-hmm.
It's because they don't have time for the small talk. They really are so busy. Like, get to your point. What do you need? And get out.
So basically what we're saying is, my takeaway is when someone asks, "How are you?" they don't really care how you are. It's just sort of the segue to get to the meat of the tofu of the conversation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just get to the marinated tofu part of the conversation.
Busy bragging. I'm guilty. You're guilty. Let's curb it.
The Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
Okay, well, this is interesting. I was not expecting this big of a response for what happened at Costco. If you missed it, I went to Costco on Sunday, which admittedly is on me. It's a zoo in there. And a lot of you asking which Costco I was at the Costco in Etobicoke. Like it's just sort of Queensway and Islington. That's the closest major intersection. Anyhow, it was so busy and I was in one of the aisles. I had to get stuff from another aisle. So instead of like trying to wait and navigate those massive shopping carts, I tucked it sort of up against the side of the aisle behind one of the sample stations. And like, this is kind of out of the way. And then I became a pedestrian, went back to my cart, and there was a guy who looked so, honestly, he looked like he wanted to launch me into the sample cart.
I'm going to say, though, I think people in general at Costco look angry because everybody is frustrated and trying to get out.
Yeah, we all just need some samples. We need to calm down. Give me some extreme fajitas and some pizza shooters. We'll all be okay.
Costco face he had.
He had Costco face on. So I want to know, do you think what I did was wrong, tucking my cart against the side and then walking away for about 90 seconds to come back? Okay, Helena in Toronto, have you done this before?
Did it on Saturday.
You did it on Saturday?
Yep, I was there very early, 9 o'clock when they opened to get my flowers. So I got one of those big orange, the flatbed.
Yep.
And, well, then I realized I do need a couple pieces from the produce. So I made it to the fish area, got my salmon, and that's when I realized, no way. And I parked it there, and I ran through the fence, picked up a few things, and then I went.
So that's like a next level offense. Like you did it with a full-on flatbed in Costco.
And I actually did tell someone that I need a new driver's license because it was not cooperating.
You know what they need at Costco? They need like 2 cart size options. They need like a slightly smaller cart.
They need traffic lights and somebody directing
traffic cop. That's what they need. They need a traffic cop. Helena, thanks so much for the call.
Thank you.
Have a great one.
You too.
Helena's next level, doing it with a flatbed? I don't know if I have the guts to do that.
I can't even maneuver a flatbed when there's open space.
Yeah, seriously, those things are tricky. Another person texting in saying, literally just did this at Costco and it's genius. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I was in and out of Costco in 43 minutes with a full cart of stuff because I too was a pedestrian and went by foot for most stuff while my cart was tucked nicely against the prepared foods.
Wow.
Okay. Feel very validated here.
I feel like it's different at Costco than at regular grocery stores.
Yeah, I don't pull it at regular grocery stores because they're generally not that crazy.
Yeah.
depending on when you go. Let's do another call here. Marley in Toronto. What do you think about that maneuver I pulled at Costco yesterday?
When people leave their cars, you know what I do? I relocate them. Yes, it's one hand that I use. I relocate it like way.
Now they're searching for it.
You can go right in the back room where people use the bathroom. Oh, yeah. Or if I can't, and I'm particularly really sore that day, I'll fill your cart with whatever you don't like.
You'll put some like fresh tuna and sardines in there or something.
I will fill it with everything. Baby food, diapers.
Wow.
I will fill you with everything you don't need.
Marley, I totally hear you on the accessibility and fire hazard issue. You raised two very valid points. And I actually appreciate the extra effort you put that if you see this, you will troll the cart and throw it off to the side or put stuff in it. I actually very much appreciate that move because I feel like that's something I would do.
It's now a scavenger hunt.
Marley, thank you so much for the call. That's brilliant.
Thank you for bringing this to the forefront.
Okay, so Marley does not like my maneuver, and she says if she spotted me at Costco, she would fill my cart with nonsense and then hide my cart. I actually appreciate that level of effort.
Marley doesn't sound like she's shopping. She sounds like she's going there to find those people and do that. I wouldn't even have time to do that. I'd be so busy shopping.
Marley is the aisle police, and I kind of
like
appreciate that. All right, you can keep it going here. The maneuver at Costco where I tucked my cart in against the aisle and then became a pedestrian. Is that okay? How do you feel about it? We'll get to more of your texts and calls because you guys have blown us up with this one.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
I was at a crowded Costco in Etobicoke yesterday, and I pushed my cart up against the side of one of the aisles and then hopped over a couple aisles to go grab some coffee beans. And I came back, and there was a guy looking at me like he wanted to launch me into the sample table. Like, was not happy about it at all. And I want to know if you think what I did was okay or if that is an offside move at a Costco. Joanne in Toronto, what do you think?
I'm sorry. I love you guys. I think you're amazing every morning, but I don't think you should be doing that because other people, if they're getting the free sample, they can't get to you. Get to that person first of all. And I go to Costco many years, and I would never do that. I take the cart with me, like I think your partner says, because her boyfriend, makes a mess every time he shops. And it's 2 minutes of your time. You're already in the crazy crowd, which Sunday's a bad day unless you go in the morning. So don't leave the cart. Get your goods with you, and in fact, you should have stopped and gotten a sample.
Honestly, I love the samples, but when it's that busy, I'm like, you know what? I can't even wait in the lineup. It's so hectic in there. My move, honestly, Joanne, is normally like Wednesday or Thursday at 1 p.m.
Oh, well, it shouldn't be bad on a Wednesday usually,
Usually, like, afternoon's not so bad, but I was dumb enough to go on a Sunday, and I paid for it. And
you must have been bored and wanted some activity to do.
That's probably what it was. Joanne, I appreciate your perspective, and it's hard to argue with you, because even as I was doing it, I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this.
Well, you'll do better next time.
Thanks, Joanne.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
And Joanne, to be clear, I was not blocking the sample cart. I would never do that as someone who loves samples. I was tucked behind the sample cart, so like kind of in no one's way.
Because you only have 10 seconds before the samples are gone.
Oh,
Until
yeah.
the next one's
Yeah. And they're so hot, you just shove them in your face. Casey from Ajax texting in to say, can't say I've left my cart unattended before to grab a few things, but what a great idea. Because I wasted so much time waiting for people to get out of the way with the giant carts. I'm going to try this next time. Don't feel bad, Gurdeep. Costco is not for the weak.
It's not.
It's Casey from
It's
Ajax.
not for the weak. It's like, what's that game? That movie? Hunger Games?
Squid Game?
No, Hunger Games.
Some kind of game. Yeah. Eric from Toronto, what do you think about what happened at Costco yesterday?
Definitely not one of the top offenses. It's not great, but I would put it in the acceptable category. The people that really need to be ticketed are the ones that are leaving the carts in the middle of the lanes, or even walking beside their carts, taking up twice the width. Those are the people, they need police in there, find them, get them out of there.
Oh, yeah, like the side pullers. You get people walking beside the cart and pulling it from the side. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
When did that become a thing? I've never seen that before, and all of a sudden it's become a big thing in like the last 6 months. I'm like, what is going on here? And a lot of people are doing it.
It's a TikTok trend.
It's a TikTok trend, yeah. Pooja found it. That's the equivalent of like a family of slow walkers on a sidewalk, and they spread out horizontally and not walk single file.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like gotta go. Stand behind your car. Get going.
Those are the same people that are leaving their carts in a parking lot space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, those people too.
Just waiting to dent someone's someone's car. Eric, that is awesome. Thanks for the call, buddy.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Turns out there's lots of grocery store and Costco offenses. This person texting in and say, your grocery cart episode is totally fine, Gurdeep. What's worse are the people that stand in the middle of the aisle in front of their carts while watching videos on their phone or texting.
Oh, don't
Like, come
use your phone
on.
while you're shopping unless your grocery list is
Yeah,
on it.
unless it's your grocery list. That's it. Can we squeeze in one more call?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's go to Alpha in Mississauga. Alpha, what do you think?
Well, I think you're a nice guy because, to be honest, I do that on my way to the cashier.
So you'll actually leave it while you're in line, like to pay?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, what happens if there's like people behind you? Do they go around you and jump in front of you in line?
Oh, no, I just tell them, oh, well, I remember I forgot something. I should have made a list. I'll be moved. Like, no problem.
That is a spicy one. That is very interesting, Alpha. Hey, listen, thanks so much for sharing, and we appreciate you listening.
No problem. Anytime. I love you guys.
Oh, thanks, man. Love you too. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Listen to Pooja and Gurdeep live weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Only on 98.1 CHFI.
Toronto's perfect music mix.